So I saw this video of this girl scooping out the center of a cantaloupe, and she was talking about like, what phobia is this that she couldn't look at the center of the cantaloupe. And somebody said trypophobia, which I also have, so I understand. But that got me thinking, where do we find phobias in someone's birth chart, or what planetary combination, placement, whatever would show somebody's phobias? And from my own kind of ideas, I would definitely say maybe like the eighth house, the 12th house. The 12th house, I think, more than the 8th house because it's our subconscious. But also, I could see if we're doing the 12th house, then we're going to say Neptune, Pluto, maybe Saturn. And so to test that, I did it on my own chart. I have trypophobia, and I have Pluto and Scorpio in my 11th house, and then Neptune and Capricorn in my first house. And so we're gonna talk about that. As my 12th house, I don't have any planets in my 12th house, but I have Sagittarius as my 12th house. My best guess for, let's go through all these placements. And so Neptune in my first in Capricorn. Neptune can be about not having boundaries or things that are just too like open. And then Capricorn is about structure, and it can be about textures and surfaces that are essentially structure. So right there, that's a dead giveaway, especially if we're like bringing like, I hate to say this, it makes me uncomfortable even talking about it, wetness and texture, because I'm getting skeeved out, and I hope you guys appreciate how much I am making myself uncomfortable just by talking about this. Seeing one of those lotus pods is my worst nightmare. On to the next. Let's move on to the next one. We have Sagittarius as my 12th house. And so the first thing that comes to mind is that Sagittarius is expansive. And so other than like fear of commitment, which is probably how I would think of Sagittarius in the 12th as a fear, when it comes to trypophobia, I would think that it could be explained as like chaos, fear of chaos, or uncontainable like things, uncontainable patterns, which I think is the closest fit we're going to get for trypophobia. Or also Sagittarius as the 12th house could be like the fear of not being able to escape any sort of fear or escape discomfort, that you're not able to like overcome those things. But I think we're going to stick with the uncontainable chaos and patterns. I'm not even going to lie. The next one I had to think about really hard because I was not seeing the direct link, but here's what I got. And just roll with me on this one, because this is how my brain generally works as an astrologer, and how I teach my students and apprentices as well, is that in astrology, you can't just go based on what the sign means. Sometimes you have to take real life inspiration. Like in this case, I'm taking a lot of inspiration from a scorpion in particular. Scorpions are nocturnal creatures, and they see best at night, from what I understand about them. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, someone. I'm not a scorpion expert, just a Scorpio expert. But for the most part, scorpions are most active at night, which would be hard to see in the daytime. And so they are best at seeing what is unseen, which speaks to that Pluto link of fearing something on an unconscious level that is visual. And so there's some sort of subconscious visual discomfort. Like if I'm seeing something that has that thing, I keep getting that visual of that lotus pod. We're gonna wrap this video up. Okay. Lastly, Pluto being at 22 degrees, 22 degrees is called the kill or be killed degree. And so it's also Capricorn degree. And so we could relate that back to texture. A visual texture makes me uncomfortable. But at 22 as the kill or be killed degree, it could also be there is a real fear of I need to physically remove myself from this unconscious texture fear, but that's kind of impossible unless I stop thinking about it, which I am trying so hard to stop thinking about it, but now it's burned in my brain now that I've thought about it even once. But also, trypophobia is closely linked to things such as disease, decay, all Pluto things. And so that would be the link that I would see there. It's an unconscious visual fear of decay, disease, things just falling apart in weird ways in a texture wise thing. Okay, this video is over. But anyway, this was just a theory and a thought that I had, and I would love to hear everybody else's like 12th house, Pluto, and Neptune placements. And what do you guys think? Your phobias, how that links to your phobias. I would really like to know. This is like new territory for me, and so I just kind of pieced it together, but I'd really like to hear from you guys. So let me know. And of course, if you like the video, make sure you like. If you want to follow. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.